I am being pulled into 1,000 different directions, and it is frustrating me. I can't think. It's draining. And it all has to do with the fact that I'm doing so many different things. Basically, what it boils down to is like each different thing has a set of deliverables or requirements or goals and objectives and whatever, and little tasks and to-do lists and all of that stuff. And so ultimately, I'm not able to focus on just the one thing, because as soon as I focus on this one, then this one becomes apparent and this one comes on board, and then the hamster wheel just becomes this like crazy thing. I feel like that hamster that runs in circles and then just gives up, and then he just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling around, or maybe it was a cat. I don't know, but that's what I feel like. And so for the last couple of days, I've been thinking about it, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, the reality is that why do I keep adding stuff into the mix? Why am I making this soup with all this stuff? Because, here's the thing. If you make a soup and you keep adding ingredients, that soup is going to lose its flavor. It's just going to become bland, or something is going to overpower the other thing. It's going to be crap. That's it. Anyway, so I've been thinking about this, and I was like, okay, cool, what's the problem? And the problem is I'm afraid of letting stuff go. I think that's the root of it. It's also because I love all these things. So it's like, well, I don't want to let this go because this thing really, I get satisfaction and kicks out of it, and endorphins are being released whenever I do, work on it or whatever. And then I realized, well, the thing really is, you should find fewer things, maybe even one thing, that gives you all the satisfaction points of all these different things that you do. Because, and I heard this, I think it was in a YouTube video or something, the guy said, if you're chasing 2 rabbits, you're not gonna catch any one of them. And that also made me think, okay, cool, yeah, this makes sense. Which brings me back to this idea of letting go, the fear of letting go of these things. And so then I was thinking about this idea, okay, well, it's not really letting go, and I shouldn't have to be afraid of letting go. It's more a thing of putting it down for a moment, not letting it go, just putting it down over there, and I'll come back to it. I know it sounds simple and stupid and silly and whatever, but it's actually quite a pivotal thing in my brain, because I like to add things into my soup. So one of the things that I'm working on right now is actually just minimizing and letting go of some things. If the thing doesn't serve me right now, if it doesn't, this is different for everybody, because my objectives for everything that I'm doing right now, there's a specific set of things that I'm interested in doing and achieving. So if these things that I'm interested in, this vast amount of things that I'm interested in, if one of those things, or each of those things, if it doesn't serve that specific set of goals or that specific goal, then I'm just going to quietly put it over there in the little corner, in the little box, and I'll get back to it later. And so that's the big thing that I'm actually just working on right now. And I just wanted to ramble a little bit about this because, and I do want to maybe do a deep dive in this and kind of like see what it is that I'm going to put aside. I've already started putting some stuff away. And here's the fun thing. Every time I put something away, it feels like I'm breathing better. It's like, oh my gosh, whew, what a relief. I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. Because here's what I do. I don't know if you do this, but what I do is I have this to-do list, this insane to-do list, like literally just miles long. And I love to just keep adding things to it. I'll be like, ooh, I need to do this thing, and I'll add it on there, and I'll add a date to it, and I'll add little subsets of things onto it. I'm like, oh my God. And so ultimately what happens is I just have this endless to-do list of things, and then I kind of stress about them. And so what I'll do is I'll schedule my day tomorrow. The day before, I'll schedule my day for tomorrow, and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do these 5 things, and I'm going to do that. And I'm like, oh, I should add this thing on there, and maybe this thing. And then tomorrow comes, and I'm sitting and I'm looking at all these things, and I'm going like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to get through all this? And then I stress about it for like a few hours. I'm like, how am I going to do this? And then I do this thing, but then in the back of my mind, I'm going, I need to do that thing. And putting stuff aside basically eliminates a lot of that stress. It's about just putting it aside for a minute. And maybe that minute is actually 5 years. Maybe it's 5 days, maybe it's 5 hours, I don't know. But for everybody, that's going to be different. For me, I know some of the things that I have on my list, I can already see that I'm going to be putting that away for a while. There's one or two things that I'm putting away, and I'm looking at that, I'm going, okay, if I put that away now, I'm probably not going to circle back to that maybe a year, 2 years. And actually, that makes me very happy. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think. If there's anything similar, if you relate to this, if this kind of makes sense, I'd love to hear about that, because I am trying to figure this out, and I'm trying to also I'm just trying to figure out how to do what I do better and still get all the satisfaction that I get out of all the things that I do. And I know I can get it out of one thing, but the trick is how can I shape what I want to do to be that one thing that maybe has different facets to it that I can just address. Anyway, this is my little ramble for today, but yeah, please let me know what you think. What are things you struggle with? What are things you're trying to achieve? And what are some solutions that you found? Because ultimately, I think that's the thing that we're trying to figure out here is what will help me become more productive? And I'm not just talking about lists of Notion and all these things. I'm talking about what is a little practical thing that I can do that helps me cut through the clutter. So let me know, please.